Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Greg.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Have you had a good day?
So far so good.
Okay, why? You said that with a smile, so I'm thinking it was okay, but not wonderful, or
I went to this exhibition. Do you know?
no, I don't. What's an lovely picture? Is it it's a painting?
Yeah, it's a Japanese painter.
Okay, and who is the painter? I don't know. I've never seen the artist.
Yoshitoma Nara.
Okay, no, I've never seen them before. Is it usually this sort of work? Very simple, stylized um, images of
Yeah, I believe
children.
I believe this painting sold like $10 million something.
Wow, wow, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for. I mean, it's interesting because I do like a lot of modern art, and there's some people I like pottery. There's a potter. I don't know if you know this this potter. I'll just share my Google Translate with you. Let me just get that up. Oh, hopefully it will share. Oh, let me just get Google. Have you ever heard of this potter called Grayson Perry? Have you ever heard of this man?
Yes, but can you show me her
Yeah,
artwork?
well, it's a man, and what he does is he makes pottery and objects which comment on society. So sometimes he makes a vase, but it looks strange. It will have I will try and show you. Also, he likes to cross dress, so his pottery is amazing. It's really it's very interesting. It comments on society, and the pieces are very big, so you can really look at the pieces, and often they're very funny. The pottery is very funny.
Yeah, I can tell.
But also he makes tapestries, and this is him as a man, but he has this alter ego. You know the expression, it's a great expression. Do you know this? Alter ego.
Alter ego.
Yeah, do you know what that is?
Okay.
Alter ego. It's a great expression.
Alter ego.
It's a person's secondary or alternative personality.
Okay.
And so Grayson Perry has this alter ego, who's this person called, and her name is Claire, and her look is always very funny, and but it's also a comment on society. And he won a big prize which we have in England, the art prize, a few years ago, called the Turner Prize, and which is a very big art award, and his work is very international. And it's very amusing. I find it's very honest. You know, he talks about things. He has made some television programs which you could watch on YouTube as well, and you might find it interesting to look at his work. But he is literally a potter, and also he makes tapestries. You know what tapestries are, obviously.
Tapestry.
Tapestry.
Oh,
yeah, tapestries.
Like Turkey. Turkey has a lot of tapestry.
Yeah, well, it has more carpets. I think it has more carpets than tapestries.
Yeah.
Tapestries go on the wall.
Okay.
They're like pictures made, as you're saying, of embroidery. Hello, Chloe. Hello, hopefully Chloe's here. Yeah, but and also what he does is the tapestries are made from his designs in Belgium, and they're amazing because they are social comment. It's like social commentary. Oh, sorry, social.
Social commentary.
Yeah, social commentary. So it's like, I can't really show you one, I don't think, but hello, Chloe.
Oh.
How are you? Are you okay?
I think yes.
Hi. Oh, okay. It's funny. Grace is the same today. She was a bit like, I think the word is both of you are wavering. Wavering. Do you know this word wavering? On, wavering. Wavering on how you feel. You're sort of moving like that. It could be a good day or not so good day. It's sort of like wavering. Yeah. It's a good word. I'm probably using it in the moving in a quick and quivering way. Your feelings are like, maybe yes, I'm okay. Maybe I'm not. It's a good word, wavering. We were talking about art, Chloe, because when I was talking to Grace, she showed me this interesting exhibition. Could you show Chloe?
Chloe, do you know this?
Do you know this artist? I didn't know. It's a Japanese artist.
Japanese. I think I've seen it before, but I have no deep impression.
Yeah, that's really good. No deep impression of yeah, exactly. Well, deep impression, that's a great expression. Deep impression. I'm the same. I think I might have recognized, but I did not know the name. But Grace, tell me, did you like the images or did you think?
I like it very much. Yoshitomo Nara. Yoshitomo Nara, he studied art in Germany.
Oh, okay.
He used this image as a comic doll, right? Comic girl.
Oh, okay.
I think he started to draw this girl since 1990.
Wow, 30 years. Wow.
Yes, 1990. That at that time, this girl is a small baby look.
Oh, okay.
And then during the years, the small girl become a big one.
Oh, okay. Is she always asleep? Is she, because she's like asleep in this picture?
She just closed her eyes. There is another picture, is opened eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But is she dreaming? Is she dreaming?
She won the, how to say, the world peace, because Yoshitomo Nara, he is very anti-war people.
Oh, okay. So it's an anti-war, yeah, an anti-war sort of art. That's interesting, because Chloe, I was just telling Grace, I was showing her a potter in England, an artist called Grayson Perry, who you might not know, but I'll quickly show you. He's quite interesting because he makes lots of social commentary on with his art, and this is him, and he makes pottery, and like for instance, this pot I think is called No More Art, which is quite funny. But he also makes tapestries, and he has an alter ego. Do you know this expression? Alter ego. Where have I gone? Alter ego. Do you know this one? Alter ego.
Alter ego. I don't know.
Oh, can you see my screen? It's a really good expression. Alter ego. It's an alternative second personality that some creative people have.
So he will sometimes live in a girl's identified like a Claire.
Yes, Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, but also not all the time. He in his own life, he's married and has a daughter, but his alter ego is a creative person and funny, and also the costume he wears is part of his art. So
I heard that some artists, they have the multiple personality.
yeah, well, it's interesting because in a way you could say you're talking to one today because you know
Yes.
my name is Greg Mafflin, but in my creative life my name is Greg Stone.
Okay.
And yeah,
That is,
and
you give yourself another last name.
yes, because well many reasons, but when I first started, everyone got my second name wrong. They called me McFlynn or Muslin or Maslin, and it was Mafflin. And I was like,
Mafflin.
yeah, my second name is my surname, my family name is Mafflin. But
I mean,
everyone,
I mean,
yeah,
how can they pronounce it wrong? Because it's English.
I know, but it happened. This was in England, so some people called me Muffin, Greg Muffin. Yeah, so they've
I
been.
think muffin is good.
Muffin's good,
muffin is
tasty,
good.
yeah, but and so I was like, wow, this is crazy. You know, I go to places and they say, hello, is Greg Muffin here? And I say, no, it's Mafflin. And then they'd say, and so I decided to have a second name with one syllable. You know the word syllable? I'm spelling it wrong, I'm sure. Syllable. Do you know this word? Syllable.
Syllable.
It's how a word sounds. Like for instance, actually, Grace, your name is a one syllable word. So yours is Grace.
Okay.
Whereas Chloe, well, it's interesting, your name, Chloe, it's very
Three.
beautiful. Yeah, Chloe. Well, I think it's two.
Four.
I'd say Chloe. I would
So,
say Chloe is two syllables.
okay.
Even though the way it's spelt, it looks like it should be one syllable, I think. It looks like it should be Chloe, doesn't it really? Because you don't usually get an E on the end of a name. It's
I think Chloe is a French name.
It is, you're right, Grace. Yeah, you're great. It's exactly right. Yeah. So I chose another, because my first name has one syllable, which is Greg with two G's.
Okay.
Greg. And then I chose Stone. And I chose because then it was easy to remember. So I was like, Greg Stone, two words. And also Stone, I'll tell you a story quickly. Stone sounded strong. And when I was first taking photographs, I was quite insecure, I think that's the word. You know this word.
Yes, insecure.
And a little bit shy. And you know both these words when you're not sure. Shy. Hello, Western.
Shy.
Yeah. And hello, Western. Welcome.
Hi, Weston.
How are you? How are you today?
I'm good.
Excellent. Thank you for coming. We've started talking about art, actually, first of all, which is great, because Grace showed me a poster of an exhibition she went to today, a Japanese artist. Could you quickly show Weston? Do you know this artist?
Yoshimoto Nara.
Do you know this artist? I didn't know the artist, actually. But and we got talking about art, and as a great expression, I put it up early. Do you know this expression, alter ego?
Alter ego.
Do you know that expression? Western? Alter ego? Alter ego. Ah, I found a new expression you don't know. Alter ego. It means to have a second or alternative personality, because we were talking about art having, sometimes artists have another name or another personality. Creative, like many actors, actually, you know, many famous actors have a different real name. Like well, perfect. Have you heard of the singer Elton John? Have you ever heard of the singer Elton John?
Yes,
Very
I know.
famous. Yeah, but his real name, he's a good singer, English singer, but his real name is a totally different name. It's amazing. His real name is actually Reg Dwight, I think, without the N. Reg Dwight. That is his real name, and it was
Oh.
just, yeah, that's his real birth
It's
name.
like a different country's name.
Yeah, it's, well, I
And
think
no-
it's,
and
sorry,
no and kind of like no relation.
yes, well, that's right. I think also the reason why he chose a different name is we were talking about syllables. Do you know this word, Weston? Syllables. Syllable. Do you know the word syllable?
You mean about the music?
Well, no, it's the word, yeah, but also the sound. It's to do with sound. It's like how many sounds a word makes. It's quite interesting to learn this, actually. We were talking about names because Grace's name has one syllable. It's just Grace, one sound. Chloe's has two sounds, so it's Chloe. And then your name, Weston, has two sounds as well, Weston.
West.
Weston, so that's two syllables.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a name with three. Well, more. I can think of one with four. Can anyone? Yeah, that's Christine. That's two. Can anyone think of three?
Tiffany. Tiffany.
Stephanie. Yeah, that's three. Stephanie. That's great. What about you, Weston? Can you think of one with three?
Jonathan, Madison.
Well, Jonathan, yeah, John is in names. John Nathan is three. And I was trying to think of Christopher. Christina, three. I wonder if there's any with four. Can you think of any more, Grace?
Isabella.
Four with four. I can't think of any with four.
Isabella.
Isabella. Yeah, that's great. That's really well done, Weston.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's well done. Yeah, I couldn't think of any four. I was trying to think. It's interesting, isn't it, how with names and also how we hear sounds when we have words is quite interesting, because I think the shorter the sound, the easier it is to remember the words sometimes, I think. Alexandra. Yeah, that's great as well. Yeah, really good. So it's an interesting word, syllable. It's a great word. But I was just saying to Chloe and Grace, Weston, that I chose my work name as a photographer. I think I told you I work as a photographer. And I chose my second name as Stone. And because it's very easy to remember. But that's my real name is Mafflin. And everyone got this wrong and called me Mr. Muffin. So I didn't want to be called that. So, and also names, you associate names with things. So in England, especially, I expect you know that many names, surnames, you know what a surname is, your last name, surname. You know this word, surname?
Yeah.
Family name.
Yeah,
Family name.
Your family name, yes. But often it has to do with a profession. I don't know if you know this. I know we're not talking about the subject today, but I think we'll get onto it in a minute. It's quite interesting. And you know this, profession is a job.
Profession.
So do you know, for instance, what a smith is? It's the most common name in England, Smith.
There's a movie called Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's true. That's true. It's a film. Yes. But do you know what what a smith is? You can. I've put it down there actually. A smith. It's someone who works in metal.
Oh.
So like Did you know this, Weston?
金属工人.
Worker in metal.
Worker in like a blacksmith. Someone who a long time ago works with iron, and so many surnames in England are connected to professions. So Smith, you get blacksmith, and then you another name, which a good one is carpenter. I had a friend, like the singer Karen Carpenter, and you know what a carpenter is? Yeah,
Yeah, it's a singer called Carpenter.
exactly, Karen Carpenter. But what is the job? Do you know that, Weston, a carpenter?
Carpenter.
Carpenter.
No.
To create the wood.
The wood, did you say, Chloe?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. It's someone who works with wood. So someone who makes a chair.
Make furniture.
Make furniture, exactly, Grace. Yeah, exactly. So these are all names that have developed from professions. And it's funny because the other one I could not think of what this was the other day myself. So Carter, that's a very common name in England, Carter. And I don't know if it will it won't let me bring it up. Why that is. No, it's not going to let me. But a carter is someone who carried goods. So they were carrying things on a cart in the past, like vegetables, or on a cart, a small cart with wheels. And they were probably known as Alan Carter. So the person who bought the vegetables, they would say, oh, what is his name? And they say, oh, his name is Alan. He has a cart. And then slowly over time, his name became Alan Carter. It's quite clever. It's quite clever. So often names have associations with things. But can you tell me, because I don't know I've seen your names written, your surnames, but is that in Taiwan? Is that a similar thing? Do you have surnames that mean things, like they mean like objects or professions? Your surname in Taiwan, Grace?
No, not exactly. Not the name to reflect your profession. No.
Oh,
It's
okay. Oh, okay. And are there any names that that connect to objects, like
yes.
or people, or animals, or birds, or things like that?
Yeah. Like leaf. We have the third name is leaf. Leaf on the tree.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
We
Wow.
have the third name like season, summer.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
we have what else? The object.
My surname is
Yeah.
color.
Color. It's a color.
Yes,
Oh,
but
wow.
not. I think it. We don't have any meaning in this
Okay.
word, in this name, because that's just from our family.
Okay. And what about you, Weston? Does your surname have a meaning, as in an object or a place or or anything?
I think no.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you, it's interesting because I've just remembered I have a relative, an ancestor. You know this word, ancestor, all of you. It's a relative, relative.
Ancestor.
Yeah, and they have a very funny name. I will tell you. It's I think it's my great grandmother, my great grandmother. So it's the grandmother of second grandmother of my own grandmother. And she was born a long time ago. And her name, amazingly, was this: Sheepwash. Can you see this? Sheepwash. And literally, that was her surname, Sheepwash. I think she was called Mary Ann Sheepwash. And she lived in a county called Kent, which is a farming area.
Mm-hmm.
And her family went back generations. And I guess that's what she did. Her family did, washed sheep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a long time
So
ago.
they can use it as their surname.
Their name, yes. But I think this is a name from 500 years ago, because
I
now
know
it's
someone has water in his
Oh, wow.
name, Water.
That's good.
Walking.
Walking. Wow. That's great. Really good.
One
Well,
of my friends called me
Yeah.
Walking. I say, hello, Walking?
Oh, good. That's good. That's good, isn't it? But listen, I think we better talk about Mother's Day. Sorry, because I think it's interesting to talk about syllables because it's something you can helps with your learning, I think, with your English. So Mother's Day for you was last Sunday in Taiwan, everyone.
Yes.
And was it for you in Hong Kong, Western?
Yes. Mother's Day is also is a holiday in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. And do you all give special presents to your mother?
No.
No. Okay.
Well,
Chloe, what?
I don't have. I just go on a trip with my mom.
Oh, that's nice. And Weston, what did you do for your mum?
we ate dinner outside with my family.
Okay. Did you make her a card or a gift? Did you give her a gift?
My grandmother buy her a cake, like for a small cake.
A small cake. Okay. That's interesting. Well, it's interesting what you said, Grace, because my mother is very old. I will actually, would you like to, I'll quickly share with you a picture of my mother. Shall I do that? She's
Okay.
lovely. My mother's very lovely. And I'll get the picture. Hang on, I think I had it somewhere. Where have I gone? Let me just try and share with you. Yeah, here we go. Hopefully you can see her. This is my mum. And now my mum is quite old now. She is 92 years old.
Wow.
92, yeah.
Wow.
But she still does many things. Yeah, she's still active and she lives by herself. And
Wow, she's strong though.
yes, she is strong. Yes, she's very, the word I'll stop sharing. The word I think is determined.
Determined.
Determined, yes. I think she's very.
I think, well, this is very good. She can live herself and with dignity.
Yeah.
With
Well,
dignity, right?
Yes, she's very. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I have three sisters and they live close to my mum. I do not live so close, 60 miles away. But my mum likes to do new things all the time. And so
That's good. That's
yeah,
why she can still very active.
that's
in
right. And if she has something wrong with her body, obviously at 92, she has a few health problems. She goes to the doctor and says, "Fix me," you know, which is a good attitude. You know, she just says literally, "Fix me," and sometimes the doctors say to her, "Oh, but you're getting old," and she goes, "Yes, it's a number." I don't know if you know this expression. Age is.
The age is just like a number. You can, someone when he's young, then he may be lazy. Then someone old, maybe he's still strong.
Yes, exactly, Weston. That's very true. Very, very true. And well, what I'll do is I will watch the video, but I've got a funny little bit of video to show you of my mum at the end, if you like. It's a few years ago on her birthday. It was her, I think it was her 89th or 90th birthday. We went to Budapest in Hungary for a holiday.
She can still flying that far away.
Oh yeah, she loves it. She loves it for a weekend.
Oh, actually, it's not very far away from England.
No, it takes 2 hours 50 minutes on the plane.
Yeah.
And also it is a spa town. I don't know if you know what a spa town is. Do you know what a spa is?
Oh yeah, it's very famous.
Yeah, it has natural. Do you know about this, Weston? It has natural mineral water. natural mineral water you can bathe in, and it's very good for your skin and your body, and it's warm, it's lovely. And so we stayed in a hotel, a spa hotel. But we did a really funny thing. We went to a video arcade, a video arcade museum. Does this make sense? You know what a video arcade is? You know what
I cannot see the screen. Can you move
Oh,
up?
sorry. Yes, sure. Sorry, Grace. Video arcade.
Oh, okay.
Well, basically it was three words in one there. I'll put them next to each other because it's actually
I know arcade, I know video, and I know museum, but I don't know what meaning.
well, if you put them
mixed
together, so video is like a video game machine. Like you have a video game machine, like you can play, like Space Invaders is a famous one. And then when they're all together, it's called an arcade. And then in Budapest, they have an video game machine arcade. So many video games together in an arcade, and they're in a museum, but you can play them. So you pay one price, you go in, and there's 200 machines.
Oh,
And they're really
museum that with many arcade that can play video games.
Yes, all different. It's great. You pay one price. And so I said to my mum and my sister, oh, shall we go to this? And my mum was like, I don't know if I might not enjoy it. And I said, no, we'll find a game for you in the video arcade machine. And then I found one, and she was sitting down, and she played it, and she was really good. So at 90, she was playing on this video game. And I have some film footage, video on my phone, which I can share with you.
It's like Dr. Mario thing.
Yes, exactly. And before, she had never played it, but it was fun. And so it shows you that age, literally, age is only a number, as Weston said. Age is a number. You can be a young, old person, or you can be an old, young person.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
it depends on your attitude, right?
Yes, you're right, Grace. Well, exactly. I mean, today you've been to an exhibition. You've been, and you're opening your mind to new ideas, and that's the way to expand your cultural reference point, I think. So that's really good. Yeah, it keeps you young because it makes you question ideas and thoughts, and so I really like that. I think it's very important. So I'll quickly get back to the video that they've got for us to watch. Actually, I found another video, which is, and I'll use, it's a lady talking. The problem is sometimes it's just a talking head like this, and it's a bit boring. I shouldn't say that, but I've said it. I just think you want it to be interactive and exciting. Like today, you think we've had a big conversation about art, words, professions, names. I've learned about your names, which is great because, but with leaves and like walking and then color in your name, Chloe. But also I've shared a little about my life in England. So to me, that's what good conversation is about. It's to and fro, you could say, back and, I expect you know this expression, back and forth. Back and forth. It's like how a conversation goes. I think if you just had me talking, just going, I would find me very boring. But because we've been exchanging ideas, it's exciting. But so here is the video of History of Mother's Day. Oh, this is the one I found. So maybe we can watch this one. It's about the history of Mother's Day from the History Channel. But I don't know if it has any Google Translate. So I don't think it does. Don't it has no, it doesn't, I don't think. I'll play it back a bit slower. quite interesting. Oh. Doesn't look right, that one. It's just moved. Yeah, here we go. Hopefully you can you see this?
The ancient Greeks were among the first to pay
Oh,
tribute
it's a
to
bit fast. It's a bit fast.
Mom. Sort of. Their spring festival honored Rhea, the mother of all Greek gods. That holiday didn't pan out. In medieval Britain, servants were given the fourth Sunday of Lent to travel home and spend the day with their moms. This custom was called Mothering Sunday.
We still call it that. We call it Mothering Sunday in England. Is that what you call it as well? Mothering Sunday.
No.
Mothering Sunday. It's Mother's Day, and it happens on a Sunday usually. I think yours was this week. I think it was on Sunday, wasn't it? The 9th in
Yeah.
Taiwan. Yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe it's the same thing. And it's interesting because the video said it goes back to the Roman times, but then also medieval England. So you
Oh.
get fourth Sunday, it's medieval. You know this, oh, if I spelled it right. You know this word, Weston, medieval? Does everyone know this? It's a great word.
The time during like almost few thousand years before.
Yeah, hundreds usually. Yeah, it relates to the period in England, in English or European history. They originally called it the Dark Ages. I don't know if you know why it's called the Dark Ages. Do you know this? Do you know this time? After the Romans. Can you guess why it's after the Romans? So you got the Romans, then we got the sort of Dark Ages, and then we got the
So there are many
medieval period.
breakthroughs during Middle Age.
So I didn't hear your question.
So there are many strict rules during medieval.
Well, it might be my screen, but your sound is going a bit, so I didn't quite hear you. Did you say it was during the medieval period? Yeah, the medieval period, the dates are sort of literally from about 1000, I would say, to well, I'm guessing, I'm not very good, about 1350. I would say that was a medieval period. But they called it the Dark Ages, which is crazy. And the reason they called it the Dark Ages, because they didn't know many things happened. There is not much written, whereas in Chinese history, and I think in Taiwanese history, there was already written language. Am I right, Grace? What happened in England was they lost, there was very little written language.
Oh.
And so they just said, oh, well, for 400 years, I think it was like literally from about 200 AD to about 800 AD. They just didn't know what had happened, was happening. So they call it the Dark Ages.
Okay.
Now, if they're learning more about it, they're not going to call it the Dark Ages soon. They're going to have to think of another term, because there was great art and culture in England. I mean, if you like learning about history and treasure, I don't know if you know about, I'll quickly share with you, Sutton Hoo. It's treasure. They found a boat. This Sutton Hoo is in Suffolk in England. And they found a Viking ship. Do you know what a Viking ship is?
Yeah.
Yeah, they found a Viking ship in the ground full of treasure.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was a burial ship, and you can look it up on the internet. It's amazing what they found: gold and diamonds and like a big helmet. Treasure. Yeah, you know that word.
Yes.
Treasure. I mean, and it really is treasure. It's in the British Museum in London now.
Mm-hmm.
And one man found it literally on someone's land because this lady had a hill, like a small hill. It
Mhm.
wasn't a hill, it was the ship buried in the ground, and it dates from this time, about 800 AD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of England's most special treasure, and there's also lots of mystery and ghosts stories connected to the legend about it as well. It's very interesting. Well, I'm just looking at time. Let's go back to the well, actually, I'll go back to the traditional video that we're going to watch. Hopefully you can see this, and it tells you a bit about American Mother's Day. So let's have, and this lady's just talking, a lot of talking, but it might be interesting. So we'll watch some of this. And
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Mother's Day is held on the second Sunday in May of every year. It's one of the most important commercial holidays in the nation. The holiday is over 100 years old and was a...
It's interesting, I'll tell you. The word she uses important is commercial. Commercial. Do you understand what she's saying? It's a commercial holiday.
Business.
To
Yes,
get
business.
money.
Yes, you're right, Chloe. Yeah, exactly that. So it's basically how to make you spend money you don't want to spend on something where you could spend it on something more important. So what they did was
Like Christmas.
yeah, well, a bit like Christmas. Yeah, except I'd say with Christmas, there is some sentiment. And for me, there is some ancient traditions connected to Christmas. I love the pagan, the very old things about the earth and the darkness and light at Christmas. But yes, I agree. Exactly. It's a bit like Christmas now for many people.
I believe it's like the commercial holidays like Valentine's Day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like, it's just, I may be a bit strange, but I tell you, I like this like older traditional holidays, the ones which have a bit of history to them. I find that very interesting. Ancient history in ancient festivals. And so Mothering Sunday for me is just like, why? You know, I'm not buying a card for my mum. My mum knows I love her very much. We go to places, we go on holiday, we do fun things together. I'm not going to spend £20 on a card and chocolates and flowers to give the profits to someone else.
That's why I didn't buy anything to my mom.
Exactly. It's funny, Grace, I guessed that was it. I guessed when you told me.
I saw her twice a week.
Yeah, exactly. You don't, yeah, exactly. And I say to my mother, I'm not celebrating Sunday, special Sunday, because I celebrate you all the days of the year. I don't need to celebrate you on this crazy Sunday for mothering, which is spend like, and also the price.
All the restaurants are booked. You cannot find a restaurant. That's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, and also you know that they put the prices up of things.
Yeah, maybe.
So like the flowers, if you buy flowers, there'll be more, 50% more price. Or the chocolate will be 50% more because it's in a special box.
Yes.
You know, it's crazy. It's so what she's saying is, and this is American culture, which, you know, I'm different from because I live in England, but it's commercial. It's a commercial holiday. Yes. There is an interesting connection the lady talks about, which we will watch quickly.
Officially declared a federal holiday in 1914. Originally, the holiday was celebrated by hanging a flag to recognize the mothers who had a child who died in war. Today, it has no association with war whatsoever.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Originally, I think it was like the First World War.
Yes.
You know, which is known as the Great War. Many mothers lost sons. You know, especially in England, some families lost all their sons.
Yeah.
In the war. And so I think they hung a flag on that day, a special day. So you could say that was originally a very good idea behind this to celebrate the mothers who had lost their sons, and daughters as well died in the First World War. But then commercialism sort of crept in. I think I'll put that in, I mean, I'm espousing something not very good here maybe, but commercialism. Commercialism, have I spelled it right? Commercialism, let's have a look.
Yes.
Yes, I have, commercialism. Do you all know this word? Commercialism.
Yes. Commercialism.
the emphasis on maximizing profit.
Everything is become expensive.
Yeah, exactly. We see, this is my philosophy. I buy old things. In England, we're lucky. There are many markets and little markets as well, where people sell things they don't want. You know, so sometimes if you have a big house, you move to a smaller house, you get rid of things. So I will buy old things and reuse them. I think it's better for the planet. There's a
Yeah.
big thing about this
Yes,
now.
it's environmental friend.
Exactly. It's a great phrase. Environmentally friendly. So I'm gonna,
Like a grocery sale, right?
yeah.
No, the
Grocery, yeah.
grocery sale.
You mean
No.
the grocery, do you mean the grocery packaging?
No, there is a name for this kind of small market in front of your house to sell the old things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a flea market.
Gross sale. Gross sale.
Yeah, and you know, that's
Second hand.
second hand. Yes, that's great. Yeah, I know what word you're trying to say, Grace. I can't think of you mean it's an American term you're using.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. But we call it in England a flea market.
Garage sale.
Garage sale. Yeah, a garage sale.
Yes, garage sale.
Garage sale. Or we call it also in England, we have a special word which is funny, boot sale. And a boot sale, and that's because of your car. You know, the back of your car you lift up, and we call that the boot, the trunk.
The trunk.
The trunk is the boot in England. So we call it a boot sale, and that's where you can sell. And every weekend you can find amazing things. I go to many and I tell you, you can sometimes find treasure. If you ever come to England, you can find really, I mean, I don't have to show you something because I've got lots of things.
Yeah, I've been to Notting Hill. Notting Hill has
Notting Hill, Portobello. For
yes.
example, here's a little jug. Can you see this little jug? Very beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you see this? And I bought this on Saturday for £1.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it's nice, and it's actually very old. It's actually about 100 years old.
It's ancient wood, ancient things.
I think it was made in Germany, but I buy 100 years ago. So you can find, you know, it's better, as you say, Grace. A wonderful expression, environmentally friendly. That's such a good expression, everyone. Can you all see that? Environmentally friendly. Can you see that, Weston? Environmentally, oh, sorry, I missed out on sorry, I must have put that.
Environmental friendly.
Yeah, or mental, you say environmentally friendly. You just put the Y on the end. So you would say environmentally friendly in a sentence. So you could say, I'm being environmentally friendly by buying this jug. You know, I haven't had to make someone make a new one. I'm using something old.
Yes.
Until it falls apart, and then I make something new. I get something new old. You can call it new old. It's an expression. Or we have this word now, which is very cool, vintage. You know, vintage. Do you know this word, Weston? Vintage.
Good quality.
Yeah, but old. No, it means sort of old, but not too old. So it's like, it could be made 5 years ago, could be made 3 years ago. So it's not antique, it's vintage. And lots of young Londoners buy vintage clothing.
Antique.
Yeah, so it's not, but antique is very old. Antique is like supposedly 100 years old. Oh, it's old. But vintage can be any age, just not new. But there are many shops that sell cool, like t-shirts, vintage t-shirts, or vintage leather jackets, for instance. I have a great leather jacket that is very old that I love.
The vintage, the translator in Google is wrong. They should be
Oh, is
like,
it?
yes, it should be like a full. It's not a huge.
Yeah, let's have a look. We'll see what it says here. Vintage. Oh yeah, it says, well, it's talking about wine. That's not very good. You're right. it's just talking about wine. It says a year or place in which that's true, but this isn't a good use of vintage.
Uh-huh.
It's not. It's well, no. What it is, it's not a modern translation of vintage.
So
Because-
vintage could also mean something that is old and good.
Yes, exactly, Weston. Yeah, that's
Similar,
exactly right.
similar to old, but it's not old.
Yes, yes,
Similar-
it's not worn. It could be. I mean, I'm just trying to see if I've got anything else in my room. Oh, I know. I've got quickly a book. A lovely book I bought. This is a vintage book, and it's all about architecture in England. This is a very old book. It's about 50 years old, this book. But it's a lovely book by a good company called Penguin, who made it
Penguin,
really
yes, Penguin is very lovely.
very famous. And I bought this in
They
a boot
have
sale.
the novel.
Yeah, it's very, very famous. And I bought this in a boot sale for like 50 pence, not even £1, so £0.50. And it's a great, because I like architecture. So it's interesting read. It's thin, it's a good book. But so that's a good vintage book. So yeah, that's an example. In fact, one time I could do a talk on vintage old things, if you like, because I know a lot about old things, and I can tell you some funny stories about buying things, and I can show you some treasure, if you like, as well. I've got a few treasures, and I can show you I can suggest it as a talk, one time, if you like. I could do, because I collect ceramics. I collect pottery, and I have a lot of pottery. I mean, you can't see because I've got the background covered up, but behind here is a lot of ceramics, English ceramics. So I could talk to you about pottery or old things just generally. We could talk about clothing, fashion, all those things if you're interested. So shall I show you the video of my mother on the arcade game quickly?
Okay.
Would you like to see that, Weston?
I
Yeah,
would like to see that.
it's my mum on the, hopefully I've still got it. It hasn't gone away. Hang on. Yeah, it's off my Instagram. So I'm going to share my Instagram with you, but it's because I couldn't find it on my screen, but it's on my Instagram. So you're more than welcome to look at it. Look at my Instagram. I'm not problem with that. So here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is my
nice.
mom, and I'm talking to her. I'm laughing. So there's no translation because my mum's really having a good go. But I was laughing with her, and my sister was there, and I was filming. And I think I moved the phone around, so you see my mum's face as well. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's very quick, but it's about a minute, I think. You won't understand what I'm saying.
How you doing? You've got better now, haven't you? It's quite quick, isn't it? It's quite good though. She's improved her score.
It's kind of card tracing game.
You even got better. You got 9.
I think that's it. Sorry, very quick. But she really enjoyed playing. She played once, and then there were other machines. So I said, "Oh, would you like to play another machine?" And she was like, "No, I'm going to play this again to improve my score." Now, so this is my mum at 89 playing this. So
Still energetic.
Yeah, she had a really good time. I can tell you, it was really fun. And then we went and had some pizza, I think, afterwards. So that was. So if you ever go to Budapest, this arcade museum, and they have many machines. I think they have over 200 machines, all different games you can play.
I think Western, you should go.
Yeah, it's really good. I'll just stop it. Hang on. Oh, I don't know how to stop this. Oh, that's it. Yeah, they had. Oh, that's Grayson Perry. They had. I don't know what else they had in there. They had pinball machines. Do you know what pinball machines are?
People is punch.
You know when you have the flippers, and the balls go up like that. Do you know what a pinball machine is?
I've kind of seen it before.
Yeah, they're very cool. They're really good to play on. They're really fun. I'll show you. And they're like one of my favorite things. I'm not very good though.
没有，我还在上英文课。
Pinball machine
对，因为这一阵子都很热。
like this. Hang on.
热啊
Let me. Can you see them?
对啊，特别今天也非常。
Like, and you stand up and you flip the flippers. I don't know if I can get one to show you. Yeah, they're like, and you stand and you basically play the flippers. I don't know if there's a video. I'll see if I can get a video.
3个。什么都聊乱聊。
Oh yeah, here we go. It's a bit of I don't know if it'll play.
嗯。
Hopefully.
哦，那你赶快睡觉。
Hi there, I'm Andy. Welcome to our buyer's guide to pinball machines. Now, I'm a big pinball fan myself. I've got a couple of machines at home, so I'm really looking forward to taking you through choosing the best machine for you and your family and friends to use. I'll take you through whether you want to be buying a brand new machine or you'd like to be buying a second-hand machine. And I'll take you through all the top brands as well. So we've got machines here from Stern, for example, from Bally and from Williams, who made some great machines back in the 90s. And then right up to the present day with a new company called Jersey Jack that made this fantastic machine called the Wizard of Oz.
So this is pinball machines. And in this museum, they had 50 pinball machines you could play on.
Do you show the YouTube screen?
Oh, sorry, can you not see?
No, we always
In
have the
the translate.
Oh, okay, that's very odd. Okay, let's see if oh, I think it's done something. Okay, let me just, sorry, apologies. Let me just see if it's just jumped to another page. Apologies. That's very strange. I put it in this and then it jumped forward. Yeah, it opened as a totally new page, which is crazy. I think it's, see if it, can you see, let me have a look. Can you see this starting now?
Yeah.
Can you see this?
Yes,
Hi there, I'm Andy. Welcome to our buyer's guide to pinball machines. I'm a big pinball fan myself. I've got a couple of machines at home, so I'm really looking forward to taking you through choosing the best machine for you and your family and friends to use. I'll take you through whether you want to be buying a brand new machine or you'd like to be buying a second-hand machine. And I'll take you through all the top brands as well. So we've got machines here from Stern, for example, from Bally and from Williams, who made some great machines back in the 90s. And then right up to the present day with a new company called Jersey Jack that made this fantastic machine called the Wizard of Oz. So
this is pinball, and you can get some great vintage machines. And in this museum, you could play all the games for free once you paid the entrance. And I think there were 50 different pinball machines you could play.
This is quite fun. I like it.
Yeah, well, I tell you, in this museum, I said to my mum, and my sister, I said, oh, how long shall we spend in the museum? And my mum said, oh, I think maybe 30 minutes will be enough. And then we'll have a drink and pizza. And then after an hour and a half, we were still playing. And I said to my mum, oh, I think we ought to leave and have some dinner. And she was like, oh, well, I'll just have one more go on the machine, you know. So it was great. And it wasn't expensive to go in. I think it was maybe £10, but you could spend the whole day there. I mean, I had a friend who went, and I said, oh, how long were you in the museum? And he said 6 hours. I couldn't leave. He said, I had to play every machine. I was like, yeah. And so with these pinballs, Grace, just imagine you could be there. I mean, the only thing is my legs got tired because I stood up playing on these for like an hour and a half. You know, I like pinball because they're very fun, and the old machines are very cool. They have good themes, and so they had a whole history. They had arcade games, video games, pinballs. They had the machine my mum was on, which was like a driving machine. Very, very, very good. Well, I think I better stop. But we've talked about many things today. I think we have talked about Mothering Sunday, but we've expanded the idea of mothering. And, you know, I've shown you my mother, so that we are talking about Mothering Sunday. So that's fun. Well, thank you very much. I'll just stop sharing. I'll just come back to you. Thank you very much for coming today to speak with me. Always good. And Grace, thank you for sharing that photo of the exhibit. That was really interesting. Good, very good
No
start
problem.
point. Yeah, it was a good start point. I really like that. I mean, feel free to Weston and Chloe to bring things sometimes if you want to bring things and show me, like photos or art or something. It's a really good way to start a conversation. Even if we go slightly off topic, I think that's okay because we're learning. You know, I've shown you some words and I've learned some things from you as well, which is great. So that's really wonderful. So yeah, feel free to do that. I think on Thursday, I'm talking about Harry Potter and wizards and witches. And so there's a great video, but I'm going to show you some other things. I've got a video, well, I can tell you a story about a very old house that I visited that was haunted. Do you know the word haunted?
No.
Oh, it's a great word. Let me just share this with you quickly. You'll know what it is when I write it, I think.
Ghost.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Ghost.
Ghost.
Okay, I know.
Yeah, let me just get it up. I'll put it in the thing if I can get haunted. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm spelling badly. Haunted. Yeah. And in Harry Potter there are ghosts, and you know, so we're going to talk about witches and wizards and Harry Potter, and I will share with you something about a wizard, a story about a wizard from England. It's quite a good book, the one I showed you last time, but I'll share you some stories. So, and also the video is about where you can visit Harry Potter in London, the studio. So it's quite interesting. So if you have not seen that video, but yeah, ask me questions, definitely. That'd be great. So
Okay.
thank you very much. Lovely to see you. Really nice to see all of you.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing your ideas and things with me. It's been a great lesson. Really good for me as well today. So thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Have a good evening and look after yourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. Bye now. Bye, Grace. Bye.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye, Weston.